Welcome to the Geek Homeworld podcast. I'm your host, Ed, aka the Savage Tech Man. We talk film, TV, and tech, all from a geek perspective. You can find us on X, Instagram, Facebook, and you can subscribe and follow on YouTube at Geek Homeworld. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Be a part of the Geek Homeworld. Hello, everyone, and this is a second chance at this, and hopefully it's working because I'm looking at my Audacity track there, Caveman, and it apparently that intro dropped out, but I can fix that in post.
Yeah, you can fix
all that. So
all
right,
greetings, everyone.
Greetings. We're an hour late with technical difficulties, and I think the fact that you were late getting on here, you had something previously scheduled. I feel like you put the hex on me.
Yeah, it was me. It was all me.
Was you. It was you, Bastion, wasn't it?
Yes, it was me. I ate lactose.
I can't listen to the Purple People Eater song anymore. That was creepy.
I forgot that. I've only watched it once, so
I've only watched it 2 or 3 times, and I've been blown away. The second biggest episode of this series.
Yes.
And
I can't say, and they've all been good with the exception of
episode 5,
Mojo World.
Yeah, the Jubilee one.
Yeah, Motendo. I almost said Mojo World.
Motendo.
Which and that's not to say that was a bad episode. It's just the weakest episode aired thus far.
It's the one I cared about the least.
What, 4 more to go?
Yeah. Well, we're about to go into a 3-parter.
But I think it's fixing to ramp up more, but I think 5 is like that's going to be the height of the season, and then it's all.
Well, you said that, doggone it.
There.
But, usually they'll drop off back to normal, but we didn't. We kind of did a little with Jubilee. It's kind of the little respite, like you said, but I feel like we went back up, right beneath, like right up next to it, Episode 7 is right there, very close to being with number 5.
It's close. It's not quite to that level, but it's close.
They are taking a hell of a lot of chances in this series, and I appreciate that. I think, it's what's going to make this successful. And now they're talking, Kevin Feige, he's thinking of putting this, how did I say it before? It's in the MCU. I mean, it's in the canon, but this may be actually part of the MCU, which I don't know if that means this comes over to live action.
I don't think so. I think it's part. I think when he says that, he means it in the same way that What If is part of the MCU. It's part of the MCU, but it's like multiverse. It's not that main, whatever they're calling that Earth. If you go by Multiverse of Madness, it's 616, but we know that's.
But there's another one like 1018 or something crazy, or 1108.
There's actually another number that corresponds.
I'm sure there's
that, but I don't remember what it is. I can't keep them. 616 is the main comic universe. That's the only one I can.
Right.
I can remember.
Let's see. So if anybody's joining us here, we had a snafu, about an hour late kickoff here. So this is the redo, as I'm calling it, I guess, of the live stream. I believe the first one, part 2. And at any point, this thing could drop out and just, I don't know. I literally updated Audacity as I was preparing to go live and as my backup recording, since my Rodecaster Pro stupidly lost the SD card. I've got to get one, so it's not recording. But now I'm not sure that it's working properly, and I had issues, and the computer went haywire. So, bunch of technical crap, all that stuff behind the scenes, crap. And
I'm actually trying something new out.
What are you trying out
tonight? I got a new set of lapel mics, wireless lapel mics. And
your sound is a lot better, I think.
And this is like the charging case, and it has a USB-C on the bottom where you plug it in.
Okay.
But cool. You open the case up, and then it's got storage. This is the extra. Oh, I ain't got it up.
Yeah,
So this is the extra mic, and it's
that's the one I was talking about.
And then
you see people, idiots that don't know how to use a microphone holding it.
Oh yeah,
and it actually just goes on your lapel.
And so the other microphone goes in here, and then the
How much did that run you?
It was less than $20.
Really?
And then on the front of it, when you open the case,
you charge. Yeah, you had 100%.
It tells you how much charge that the case.
That's not bad.
It comes with the cord to charge it, not a brick. But
I have a whole wireless pack and everything, and if I'm going to this kind of setup, I might just go back to my professional equipment that I have. Oh.
And then this wireless is the box that it came in.
You get that off of Temu.
I got it off of.
What's the regular price?
I don't know what the regular price was. I paid. It was like $13-$14. Something like that. That's we'll see how long
your Chinese microphone works in this American podcast.
Yeah, they're spying.
Well, they're taking your TikTok away.
That was just part of my. I got a little bit of a Temu haul.
100 million people, I guess, are going to have to go back to being unimportant.
I guess.
And, what will we do? I just don't know.
This.
Oh, what's that? That's a Federation.
It's an enamel pen.
Oh, I got one too. Somewhere. I had somewhere.
I got to get me a Klingon one.
Oh, here I found this. St. Patrick's Day Committee. Not many people have those.
No, sure don't. I don't have one.
It's Savannah, Georgia.
So there's this pen.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, the TARDIS. Can't get wrong with the TARDIS. Yeah, you can if it's woke.
We don't know if that's the case or not yet.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, Doctor Who.
Got this one.
I got my TARDIS somewhere. I don't know. I keep losing my TARDIS. I got messages.
That's because yours is a retardus.
It probably is.
I got this one.
Okay, sorry. If
it can't rain all the time.
What's that?
Crow.
Oh, okay. You scared me. I thought it was some hummingbird. What's that?
Yeah, it's some hummingbird.
Girl that shoots the arrows.
Oh,
Jennifer Lawrence used to do it. Mystique.
Whatever. I don't know what the salute is. Mockingjay.
Mockingbird crap.
So, and I got a sack full of these.
Is that Lego bricks?
It's just a little. It's a little like a little clay brick, and I'm going to use it for diorama.
Well, they have laxatives for that.
That's diarrhea. Different thing altogether. I don't need no help building no diarrhea.
I was sure hoping that Samuel L. Jackson and Duke Nukem would have it out on this podcast tonight.
Oh, yeah. Maybe. Not tonight, though.
Is that your Star Wars cards?
No, they're like Van Goghs.
Van Goghs. Oh, okay.
It's little stickers. And I figured I could try.
What do you know about Van Gogh?
Frames.
I think it's upside down.
He died.
Starry Night.
From like syphilis.
Or something.
But anyway, I got a whole stack of those. They're stickers. I'm going to try to see if I can make like a little frame or something.
According to my music class, he didn't actually cut his ear off, but I don't know.
No, that was probably one of the hookers he didn't pay.
Well, Samuel Jackson was the pimp that came in. John collected. Yeah. He was it Time Magazine with Michael on
Time Magazine. And it's even got stuff on the inside, but it's just folded up. So
why do you have a Michael Jackson Time Magazine?
Hey, it's like little magazines.
But where'd you get them?
Off of Temu.
Oh dear, from China. Yeah,
but you know what? I don't care. It's good shit.
China. It's not good shit. It's radioactive, man.
I don't care.
You're taking jobs out of the kids in the sweatshop in America.
Oh, whatever. Here's Emperor Palpatine's favorite magazine.
Do it yourself. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
And then anyway, there's like some more. But Drunk Pool, he's got to have some stuff to read.
Deadpool.
No, Drunk Pool.
Drunk Pool. What's the difference?
You don't know Drunk Pool?
Do I not know Drunk Pool?
I don't know. Do you?
What a nice Death Star you have in the background there.
Oh no, I wonder where I got that.
Oh, I know where you got the clock.
I got the Death Star from the same place.
I gave it a Death Star?
Yeah, you gave it to me for Christmas one year.
I did? Oh, I sure did. Oh my gosh, I did.
All right, this is Drunk Pool.
Well, it's Deadpool, yes. Essentially. It's Deadpool.
And here is America's Booty.
Oh, he froze up. Okay, there. I didn't see America's Booty. What was?
Oh, you didn't see America's Booty?
You froze up for a second. Oh dear.
It's America's Booty shaking.
Oh dear. Thanks, Deadpool or Drunk Pool. Oh dear.
So anyway, that was my Temu haul.
That's your Temu haul. Oh
yeah.
Lord.
I'm happy with it. I got to get me some cinder blocks.
That's what the hitman said.
Yeah.
I need some cinder blocks.
That way I can make a thing like, Hulk busting through the wall or whatever.
So we had Bright Eyes as episode 7, and in the next 3 episodes is called Tolerance is Extinction, a 3-part episode.
A 3-parter.
So essentially an hour and a half left of the series.
I am in... What season am I in of the animated series? I want to say it's next to the last one.
I'll have to say that Life Death
where
Part
the animation got really good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as good as it gets for hand drawn in the 90s, but
right. Well, what did you say you're at?
I want to say it's the next to the last season.
Okay, because the last season does drop off in quality.
It's in a multi-part story where Bishop goes to the crossroads of time.
With
Apocalypse steals Cable's time cube, and then Cable steals Grimalkin.
Yeah, and they've got like all the telepaths and everybody.
He's kidnapping all the telepaths, the most powerful telepaths.
The Nexus of Time, and that's
actually
that was the end all be all Apocalypse episode, and at that you're supposed to basically think Apocalypse is gone, but I know Apocalypse is going to show up somehow.
Of course, you can never. Apocalypse is like the Joker. He never.
But they like essentially went to the end of time and all this, and so outside of time and all that. They were doing that before Star Wars did. Ooh, I said it.
Dave Filoni had to learn it somewhere.
That's true. So, here's interesting. Bo DeMaio, that got kicked for whatever reason. He personally wrote by himself episodes 1, To Me, My X-Men. To me, at the time, it was the second best one, and until maybe episode 7 this week. Episode 2 is my second favorite. Still one of my favorites. Mutant Liberation Begins, the Trial of Magneto. He wrote that by himself.
Oh my gosh. And
yeah.
Which episode was it where they took it to the Sentinels in South America or whatever?
That was the first one.
That
was To Me, My X-Men. Okay. Yeah, where Storm brought the
oh my God. Omega level threat detected.
But here's the thing. So Bo DeMaio wrote To Me, My X-Men episode 1 by himself, wrote Mutant Liberation Begins by himself, co-wrote Fire Made Flesh, which is Goblin Queen. He co-wrote it with Charlie Feldman. Then he also co-wrote Motendo and Life Death Part 1 with Charlie Feldman. Then Remember It, the best of them all, Bo wrote by himself. Then Life Death Part 2, Charlie Feldman wrote that by himself. Then Bright Eyes that we had this week, Charlie Feldman and J.B. Ballard wrote that together. So tell me, Bo DeMaio, I don't care what he's done, and if he was mean to somebody, y'all need to get over it.
Apparently it had something to do with his Instagram or something.
His OnlyFans page or something?
His OnlyFans.
Well, I tell you what, Marvel's trying to find a way to get his butt back, or they should be. And I don't care if it's politically correct or not, unless he did something really heinous. But he's written the best X-Men that we've some of the best animation
Well, from what I
storyline
understand, I
outside of
hadn't,
that.
I don't really hang around on OnlyFans, so I don't know exactly what it is.
I don't even know
Seen
how
or
to get
anything.
there, and I don't want to
But
know.
apparently, he just like does workout videos or something. Of she puts on videos of him working
And
out and showing off, and
he's a gay man, so there's probably people that are offended by that in some way, shape, or form, or something. And so, to whatever, so far that hasn't creeped in the wokeness
yeah. I
of
mean,
this show.
I don't know that morph in the shower. That's kind of creeping. He was
Yeah,
creeping, dude. He was creeping.
he was creeping, but it hasn't turned into the
But
more
other
I'm
than
out there
that,
show.
yeah. Other than that, that's the only thing I've seen in there thus far that really stands out as
dude,
something I really didn't care for.
When you have episodes like Remember It and Bright Eyes, you can almost forget anything else like that in the series. You're like, it's so good.
I can almost forget that last season of X-Men the animated series, how bad the animation was. Oh God.
Well, it was an update for the time, but it was just
no, it wasn't. It was a downgrade from what they were doing because it was kind of what happened was
look of it, not necessarily, but
Fox decided to renew it at the last minute.
Right, and then they went with somebody else.
They went with the studio that
like Saban Entertainment was doing or not doing.
I don't know who it. I don't remember who it was.
I remember. I'm sorry. It was. Oh wow. Okay, my sound kicked in there. It was outsourced at some point of that.
Yeah, season. And it was that last season.
Yeah,
or it may have been the last few episodes of it.
Really bad.
I just remember right there at the end, the animation just turned to crap.
Yeah, and the stories.
Not that it was the greatest animation ever, but
the stories were weak on that too. I mean, it just really was not like Jubilee and Beast going into the temple with what was the guy? He was in the Age of Apocalypse. And they were trying to redeem him here, but he was in the Age of Apocalypse in the storyline for that. He was kind of pale looking, kind of like Morph looks, but he was tall and kind of big. I don't remember what he was, but anyway, that was a pretty bad episode. And but yeah, the anyway, so if I'm the head of Marvel, I would get Bo DeMaio on the phone and say, "Hey, buddy, oopsies, we made a mistake."
It's too late for that now because he'd be like, "Yeah, I'll come back for $1 billion."
And look, everybody on X wants me to write the live action series.
I don't know. It takes different strokes,
different mentality, just like
different
it does
strokes
for
different strokes. But
you can do things in animation.
A different mindset to write live action as it does animation. And a good example of that is Dave Filoni, because he does animation, really well usually. Now this last season of The Bad Batch, not as much.
I did like that last episode, even though that's not the final episode.
No, it was at least one more.
One more, yeah. But Filoni has had a harder time adjusting from animation to live action, where I think it's even greater a disservice to go from animation to live action, because there's things you can do in in animation you physically CGI can't do convincingly.
The bad thing about it is, he had a little bit of some transitional stuff where he was directing episodes of The Mandalorian under Favreau.
Right.
And that turned out okay, but when he got turned loose on his own with Ahsoka, it just and I'm not saying I hate Ahsoka. There were some things about it I didn't like.
There are things I really
about it I did like.
But it felt some of the direction was plastic. It felt like you felt like they were taking the person and moving them around on wires, like physically. It's like Ahsoka was not as nimble. And then when they had her on top of the spaceship, that was a little too out there. That would have worked in animation.
She's what? How old now?
I don't know. And the rumors this week, the big rumors. I guess we should talk, since now we're apparently talking about Star Wars, because it's always a good time to talk about Star Wars.
Well,
I'm trying to be nice. Star Wars Theory was on his live stream, and the guy I was talking to was the guy that I think invented the lightsaber. Very old guy, older than Gandalf. And he was on there, and he was talking about lightsabers, and then he mentioned, yeah, George has been around on set, and I suspect that he'll be doing more with the live action Star Wars that's coming out. And he's like, excuse me, what? Don't give me false hope. What did you say? And then the guy kind of walked it back a little bit and said, well, he didn't have confirmation on that, but he didn't say he didn't. So his chat went crazy because they're so excited. But it may be too far gone at this point, and there may be too many people that are far gone.
Not just that, but
George was in his 80s.
Disney's looking for somebody else to blame. They're looking, if Lucas is coming back,
because if Lucas comes back,
they're going to screw him over. Disney is going to screw him over and say, hey, look, see, even George Lucas can't even make good Star Wars anymore.
Well, they're going to say that, and there may be some truth to that. But the thing is, if they let George come back and gave him total autonomy and said, okay, here's your sandbox. You do everything you want. You have Disney's expenses.
They're not going to, first of all, they're not going to do that. They're not going to give him a blank check.
I know they're not going to give him a blank check. They're not going to give him, but if they want to save their butts, not because I'm a Star Wars fan, but I would have never did Lucas that way.
He has worked under his own auspices for so long.
Right.
I don't know if he could go back into that studio system and work effectively.
It could be hard. It could be difficult.
I mean, I guess it might be like a bicycle, and you just got to get back on it. But it just seems like when he basically started Lucasfilm, it was because he didn't want to work for the studios. He wanted to work for himself. He wanted to finance his own stuff.
True.
That's why he didn't direct The Empire Strikes Back.
He didn't write the dialogue, and he didn't direct it, and it turned out to be the best Star Wars. We don't want George. We don't want George anywhere near. We don't want George anywhere near dialogue.
One line of dialogue.
He is not allowed to write dialogue.
He gets to write the plot.
He gets to do the overall structure of it.
He gets to write the plot. He gets to outline the stories.
Yes.
And he can even break it down.
He can storyboard all day.
Have storyboarded and all that stuff, but not one line of dialogue does he get to write.
Because then, you start to hate sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
Well, I can understand that, but
I know.
It's just any of the scenes in the prequels between Anakin and Padme that are supposed to be like love scenes.
I never believed any of their relationship. They
feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I don't know if, I feel like a lot of that was the dialogue.
Yeah, it was.
But how much of that was the chemistry between, the actors as well?
Excuse me while I model my shirt for the one person that joined us in the chat.
Oh, woohoo!
Geek Homeworld.
Where'd you get that nice logo?
I think you got it for me, sir. It was a birthday present. My first shirt for the podcast. And but yeah, so if you're just joining us, just to bring you up to speed, we were about an hour behind because we had some technical glitches. So this is like the second version of our live stream. So whoever you are, I said welcome to you in the chat. You're welcome to the chat.
Greetings.
Greetings. This is Digital Caveman of Digital Caveman Presents. He does a lot of unboxings and great things on his channel. Does a video every doggone day. What did I call it? I call them.
You keep calling them unboxings. I don't actually unbox anything.
That's true. You review
in a video.
You read the box, and then the next screen.
Yes, we look at the box, but we don't open it.
Right.
But we do open it just off screen.
Okay, so you do reviews. Digital Caveman Presents. He's on Instagram, YouTube. You need to sub him today. Check out his content. So anyway, we've got a couple things we're talking about. The main thing is we're talking about X-Men 97. So if you hadn't watched it, come back later and watch this because we're going to be all spoilers. We already started with some spoilers, and we got into our favorite subject, Star Wars. We're Star Wars fans, so we're always upset with everything, and we're always happy at the same time.
No, I mean
We're not always that way. Oops, I'm sorry.
I don't know. I guess I can't look for the silver lining. I have to look for the, I have to look at the dark cloud for what it is.
The dark side.
And maybe it has a silver lining in it, but I just feel like at this point, if they're going to bring George Lucas back, it's going to be, it's not that he's not going to do what he does. It's just going to be that the studio is going to ruin it.
They're going to find a way to screw
Can you imagine George Lucas working for Kathleen Kennedy?
Not after this. He would come back and she'd get sent to the principal's office.
Oh, yeah, he's like you said,
he's
in May he'll be 80.
Yeah.
So, he's not looking, it's like he said when he sold Lucasfilm to Disney, he's not looking to spend the rest of his life doing Star Wars.
Right.
And if he was to make another 3 movies, that that's what he saw, was that I'll be doing Star Wars.
At this point, had he not sold them, we could have already had all 3 of those films, and we'd be
probably,
the fandom would be in such greater. I think we'd probably find a way to hate on George because, well, I wouldn't, but
I don't hate George. I just don't think he should write dialogue.
Well, I agree with that, but I'm sure the fandom somehow would have found a way, because there's people out there. Them like
it doesn't matter what it is, they're gonna hate it.
Yeah, and there's a whole culture of it, and people.
There's a whole culture of it. There's people
Marvel,
who make money off of it. Their whole YouTube channel is built around hating stuff.
And they're reviewers, so they have to review this stuff, even though they poop on it all day long.
I mean,
I'm sorry if you're hating something so much. Stop watching.
Don't watch it.
Watching.
There's no reason I'm a reviewer. Well, you know what? Review something that you damn like.
Yeah, come on here
don't be miserable and make everybody else who watches your channel miserable.
And don't get everybody stirred up in the negativity, because I'm a victim of it. I've fallen prey to some of that,
Oh,
until, I get wiser.
We all do from time to time. It's human nature. We kind of follow. We have a herd mentality at times.
Yeah, and we want to belong, so we have to agree with the group, and
so
for a fact there's movies that you think are utter trash, like X-Men: The Last Stand, that I understand the reasoning for, and I don't.
I understand the reasoning for it. I just don't like it.
Yeah,
it's
It's hard for me. It's hard for me to find the bad.
I'll put it to you like this,
because I'll watch.
If I'm doing an X-Men movie marathon, I will watch it just because.
It's in the timeline, whatever the timeline is.
It's in one of the timelines, and
as messed up as the timeline.
I will suffer through it and go, okay, that part might not be as bad as I thought it was, but okay, the Juggernaut is horrible. So anyway,
I want to mention one thing real quick and interject real quick. I want to say to people that have joined us, we're also going to do a world premiere of. It was actually the second film short that I did, and I wrote it, did all the good stuff by myself, and so we're going to premiere it during this live stream. So in a little bit, you got to hang with us. Woohoo! And it's actually much better than the first one. I think we premiered the last time when you were on not the stream, but the stream before or whatever. Caveman was on here, and he just had clocked out. You're not getting paid for this crap.
Because, making tons of money doing this.
I worked in HR. I know you're not getting paid. Trust me. You're not on my payroll. No one is. So you had just left. So I ended up impromptu doing that. And so if everything goes well and we don't have any more technical difficulties, you'll be seeing the premiere of Little Red. Dun, dun, dun. So that's the name of it. I love the look there. You love that crazy guy. What was the guy that did the really off the wall sci-fi things, and he had a black hat? What was it? It used to be on like low access cable. I don't remember.
Oh, like the late night dude that showed horror movies or whatever.
Yeah, I can never watch the horror movies.
Oh Lord, I know what you're talking about.
Wow, we just lost that viewer. I scared them. Wow, they just totally laters. So, anyway,
they were like, those fools are supposed to be talking about the X-Men.
Well, guess what? We're going to talk about the X-Men again.
Now they're talking about premiering a student film. I'm getting the hell out of here.
That's not what I signed up for. Where's my internet button? I love this comedian came across my feed the other day. She said, she goes, as Generation X, we never got credit for inventing the internet or trying it out, or what are you going to call it?
Oh, that's because Al Gore took all the credit for inventing the internet.
No, like, no, one night we went to bed, no internet. The next morning we woke up, we had 150 AOL disks with 1,500 minutes or whatever it was, or 5 hours worth of time. And she's like, we never got credit for learning the internet overnight. I was like, Gen X got credit for nothing. Nobody knew we existed. I'm going to see if I can do my PowerPoint in one of my future ones. For my music class, I'm doing my final on my on the 1980s, and I had to narrow it down. I think the genre to pop music, so I might show that on here if you want to watch a slideshow. It's becoming the whatever podcast, right?
No, that's a different thing.
That's Keanu Reeves. Is that Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, it's Keanu Reeves. No, it's a Pike soldier.
Oh no, I was thinking that was Darth. What's his name?
The spice dude.
Who do they want him to play?
Darth Riven. Talking about Darth Riven. No, this is the Spice Traders.
Oh,
from
Mando. Was that on Mando?
No, from Book of Boba Fett.
You said the bad words. Book of Boba
Fett. They were in the Clone Wars too, so.
Clone Wars. I have to admit, the last episode is not the second. Maybe it's the second to last, but it was actually a pretty good episode. It's so dark. The Bad Batch, and what are we getting? A spinoff? You said of Bad Batch.
That's the rumor.
Darth Maul.
No, not quite.
It looks like Darth Maul.
Well, he's a Night Brother from Dathomir.
Savage Oppressed.
So he is a Zabrak. No, this is one of the dudes from Jedi Fallen Order.
And so is he playing a dude that's trying to be a dude that was another dude?
Yes, that's a dude with a bow and arrow dude.
Excellent. So
this one ain't new, but he lives on my desk.
He lives on. Oh, it's a zombie Captain America. Oh my God. Hey, here, let me tell you about Digital Caveman.
Please tell me about Digital Caveman.
You're joining us here on Geek Homeworld's podcast live stream with Digital Caveman of Digital Caveman Presents. You can find him on youtube.com/@DigitalCaveman with 2 N's. Yes. Oh, and I just found out
if you like my content, I am now offering memberships at various tiers.
And one day when I get
some money, check the link in one of my videos. See if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you're in a position to do so.
Right. And there's some really cool perks that they get as memberships.
Yes. If you join the Legendary Friends tier, you get early access to all of my videos. In fact, as of Wednesday night.
Why am I putting that on the screen?
Is Raz here?
Raz. Okay, yeah, keep talking.
As of Wednesday night, all of my content for next week, including the sizzle reel, was available for that tier of members. So that's awesome.
And would you like to read what I put up on the screen, Digital Caveman?
Follow Raziel Kane on youtube.com /@Raziel Kane Reviews.
And Raz wants to know, he says, hello, you got monetized? ?
Well, not fully. Not fully. I got partial monetization where I got memberships and super stickers and super chats and all that stuff. and still no money flowing in from that either. So, you know,
it'll happen.
It is what it is. You know, I'm going to do it as long as I enjoy it. When it starts feeling too much like a job, I'll probably just keep doing it out of rote anyway.
Yeah. Let's see. And if you want to subscribe to Geek Homeworld, youtube.com/ you're not supposed to say /, by the way, you just say / at Geek Homeworld 4248. I learned that on the Audacity to Podcast with Daniel J. Lewis and his 10 or 15 things you should or should not do in your podcast. Very good episode. So, where are we at? Well,
let's see. We talked about George Lucas. We sort of skimmed over X-Men 97.
Yeah, and we've got and Raz, if you stick around, we're going to premiere my student film that I did, and all by myself, my acting debut. But let's talk about Bright Eyes real quick. And I'm going to read this. I'm just going to read this. It's from Wikipedia. The episode 7 is written by Charlie Feldman and J.B. Ballard, and Emma Emmett Yanamura is the director. She directed Remember It, written by Bo DeMaio. So, episode 7 of X-Men 97, it says, as the X-Men hold a funeral for Gambit, Rogue angrily searches for Gyrich and Trask. After gaining information from General Thunderbolt Ross and Captain America, Rogue finds Gyrich in Mexico and absorbs his memories. Gyrich is killed later that night by a mysterious man who is working with Sinister. While assisting in the recovery efforts at Genosha, the X-Men are contacted by Trask, who tells them that he is in Madripoor. They get Rogue on the way. Roberto and Jubilee visit Roberto's mother and tell her that he is a mutant. She asks him to keep his identity a secret. In Madripoor, the X-Men learn that Sinister and a mysterious OZT organization that DigitalCavemann is going to tell us what that means in a minute, have been developing a highly advanced Sentinel program. Rogue drops Trask to his death, unknowingly activating program that turns him into a human Sentinel hybrid. Cable arrives, defeats Trask, and explains that Sinister is working with a greater threat than that they must stop. The threat is Bastion, who reveals to Sinister that Xavier is alive in space and that Magneto, presumed dead in the Genosha attack, is also alive and is Bastion's prisoner. Wow. What an episode that can.
Yes, that was it still wasn't as good as Remember It, but it was good, and you know,
damn
it
near
had
close.
the right level of you know, shock reveals of Bastion, but yeah, at the end. But you know, if you're kind of familiar with that storyline, which I'm vaguely familiar with, I think I may have read through it once, and you know, I think OZT is the company where he's using that company to infect people with this like Sentinel virus, and at any moment he can activate them as human Sentinels.
I was throwing that softball to you because I had it on the tip of my brain and I can't remember what it was, but it's something simple. OZT is like, it's based on something out of the comics.
I think they may have said it in the episode what it stood for. I just don't recall.
I feel crazy that
my
brain doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it just kind of sits there these days.
But let's see. I've got to that there. So yeah. You can see the chat too. Okay, man. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were talking to Raz there. Yeah. So this is amazing. The level of it. It got like a 94 approval rating for this episode 7. It's like,
you're talking about Rotten Tomatoes approval.
One of them, yeah.
I don't even believe in that.
I know, but it's actually
not a believable.
It wasn't on this so much the side of the critics as it was on the fan. I trust the fandom more than I trust the critics versions of it. But the next the rating was just right there, right behind episode 5, which is incredible. That's an episode we'll never forget. And I thought X-Men was pretty dark. Well, not pretty dark, but I thought it was kind of dark for even the 90s, the animated series. But this one, they are just, I love that they're just going for it. And when you have cartoons like Invisible, or animated series, I should say, Invincible is, wow, they just really up.
Yeah, I still have to catch up on that one. I watched all of season 1, and I mean, God Almighty, that first episode was just
blew me away. Yeah, in a lot of ways.
I was like watching it. Okay, it's a superhero show, and I had never read the comics. I was vaguely aware that it was a comic. It was Skybound, and same guy that does Walking Dead. So I was aware of it, but I had never really.
Kirkland? No, what's his name?
Kirkman.
Robert Kirkman. Yeah.
And I didn't really pay that much attention to it, and not that I was really reading comics at the time,
right?
But so I never really paid attention to it. So when I watched that first episode, and then like the end of it, he's gonna start ripping basically the Justice League into shreds. I'm like, holy crap!
All right, are you ready for a movie? You like my transitions? You're not ready for
that one just came out of nowhere.
That was just like the attack in Genosha.
You got
it coming.
Well, that's true. But I don't think this has the same shock value.
Oh, Raz says yes, he's ready for it. Okay, you're ready for Little Red. All right, so let me just preface this by saying this was the second film short I made by myself. They're supposed to be like 5 minutes long, so naturally I went over. But the first one was really kind of bad, and I filmed all this, did it all by myself. The second one, I don't know, it's considerably better than the first one, and I'll show the first one again sometime, and I may just do another like unveiling, but here we go with Little Red. So here we go. Who are you? Well, my name is Aang. You can call me Little Red. Okay, Little Red, can you help me with my homework? Yeah, man. I'm like your little angel, okay? That's what I'm here for. What were you working on? Well, I must write a story, but I don't know where to start. I don't have a clue, man. It's like writer's block, man. I don't know what to write, You might start with them dishes in the sink there, man, because cleanliness is next to godliness, man, You can't get your mind organized. I mean, organized, man. If your house is a wreck, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I need to do these dishes. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Clean. I know we got a lot of work to do. Clean dishes. Very important.
Pretty much, Raz.
I think that's the right decision. Got a lot of work, but getting those dishes done. So feeling a sense of accomplishment. I got something accomplished. I did good. I'm proud of myself. Now on to something else. Oh wow, look, I got an email. This is awesome. Let's see, it's from the theater and it says, you got email. Well, that's good. It says, if I go to the movies today, I'll get a free popcorn. This is great. Now listen, this gets even better. I'll get Twizzlers. I love Twizzlers. The strawberry Twizzlers, they're my favorite and I love them. So I'll get popcorn, Twizzlers, and, oh my gosh, and a free drink. Can you believe that? The price of concessions these days, I am like excited, man. This is gonna be cool. I would be a fool to do my work now when I can just put it off a little bit longer, and then I could go to the movies and I'll be fine. I'll get back and have enough time to do everything, So I think that's what I'm going to do. Get my free popcorn, my Twizzlers, and my drink. It's time to go to the movies. Go ahead, man. It'll all be here when you get back. Hey, man, I really need this break. I'm going to the movies. I'm going to have fun. It's going to be awesome. I'm waiting to see this movie. You know what? I'm going to get my Twizzlers and free popcorn and, oh my gosh, a free drink. I'm going to save a bunch. It makes no sense for me not to go to the movies. I'm going to have fun. That was a great movie, but I didn't realize it was going to be dark when I got back. That's crazy. I still got work to do. I still had fun. I got my Twizzlers. Yes. Why don't you take a nap, man? I'll wake you up in a bit, okay? You need your rest. Rest is important. Alrighty. That was a good movie, but I need a nap. I'm going to take me a quick little nap, and then I'm going to be fine. I will be refreshed. Just a little bit of sleeping. Oh. Good night. Pleasant dreams. What time is it? Oh my God, it's morning. It's light out. I was only supposed to take a little nap. Oh my gosh. I can't believe you let me oversleep and I missed my deadline. Wait a minute. I need to put my glasses on better to see you with. You look familiar and I just finally placed it. Your name is Ang, you say. But anxiety, that's it. Your anxiety. And I cannot stand anxiety. You've wrecked my life for too long. I'm going to have my revenge now. You will not rule me, anxiety. Take this. I tell you. Whoa. I'm just going to rest for a minute. I'm just going to lay down, take me a nap, and go to bed. Quick. Ow. Quick. That was an outtake.
Are you sure?
I think so. Let's see. No resemblance to anyone living, dead, undead, or intended or coincidental. Thank you for watching, and do not give in to anxiety. Ta-da!
Okay. Can I give you? I'll give you some notes.
I know.
It's probably too late for that, but I'm gonna give you some notes. Okay. First of all, I think you misnamed your antagonist.
I'll tell you.
His name shouldn't have been anxiety. His name should have been procrastination.
Well, that's going to be in the sequel. You see, but anxiety causes you to procrastinate. So anxiety is the king or the root of it all.
Well, see, you should have.
It was an artistic choice.
You should have made it a trilogy and started out with procrastination.
See, I did like George Lucas. I did the 4, 5, and 6 first, and then I'm going back and doing the prequels.
No, it's not a trilogy, Raz. Thank goodness.
Oh no!
It's a standalone.
Now that I've broken through this creative blockage that I had,
oh Lord,
let's call it constipation.
Oh no! Now we're gonna have creative diarrhea.
Now that the bowels are clear creatively, there's going to be 9 of them. There's
9, no.
And I'm going to sell it to Disney and let them finish the trilogy out. So it'll be totally good.
Oh Lord, no!
It'll be the opposite of what.
Don't do it. It'll be woke-anxiety.
Be woke-anxiety. Plus the spin. He says plus the spin-off. Oh, hey, how do I show these? Oh, here we go. Plus the spin-off series shorts. That's yeah, we're gonna have shorts. We're gonna spin it into like an animated series like Clone Wars. It'll be my sister, when I showed it to her, she was coming up with all the different ones, like anxiety, you could do, like you said, procrastination. And I'll get Bryan Cranston to play procrastination. Did it Cranston?
Let me ask you something. Before you filmed the anxiety parts, did you watch The Big Lebowski?
I was waiting for that. No. And I'm not a big fan of that film. I don't actually know if I've watched the whole thing in like a long time.
I haven't either. I've watched bits and pieces of it.
But I felt like I was trying to channel him there. And actually that part where I did my very convincing punch at the camera, I actually punched my wife's hand because I was like, it was a fun chat. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
You're lucky there wasn't a real beat down in that video. Then.
I know. And so, well, no, I did not punch my wife. Let me say that. No, she had her hand like there and she was filming it. And I went like that. And I was like, that's why I kind of missed my mark. And then I hit her hand, but I didn't like really hit it, but I was afraid I'd hit it too hard and all that.
Trust me, Raz, that wasn't a thing because
go watch that
because he's alive right now doing this this stream. So
okay, there's our homework. Hey Raz, you can come on and anytime you want, you're always welcome. So yeah, we can. What did you say? What blasphemy? Jesus, what blasphemy? What did I say?
I think that's the name of the movie.
Huh? Oh, the movie's called. No, I thought you were talking about The Big Lebowski.
Oh,
is that what he's?
Oh, yeah, that's what he's. Yeah, he's saying we're blasphemers because we haven't watched.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. We're a little slow.
My bad. Yeah, I'm old.
You did. Here it comes right here.
I've watched bits and pieces of it. It's
what's his name? The Big Dude or something?
The Dude.
The Dude. This is
Jeff
true.
Bridges is the Dude.
Like the latter parts of my growing up, I would call my dad Dude. I don't know why I did. I don't think it's related to the movie.
I'm surprised he didn't beat your ass.
No, he just thought it. I guess he thought it was funny, or he was probably ignoring me the whole time because I never shut up.
You must have called him Dude while he was watching TV.
Yeah, I don't know. He
Either
wasn't watching TV. My mom was yelling. He was
Helen
just
yelling.
Helen was yelling. Yeah. Oh, here we go. We got another thing from Raz here. The Dude. No, seriously, go watch it from start to finish and invite me to next stream. Okay, next stream is, let's check our calendar here. Accessing. Saturday. Dull. I know. Nothing's going to happen before Saturday. Saturday is I don't know if I can do it next week. Oh, you know what Saturday is? Oh my God.
Saturday?
Okay, we're Star Wars fans. What is Saturday?
Is it May the 4th?
It is May the 4th, and I'm going to see the 25th anniversary of The Phantom Menace in theaters. You should. It's Star Wars Day.
I should come up there and watch it, but that's a long drive just to go see The Phantom Menace for the 8th time in the theater.
You better get your tickets, bro. You better get your tickets. And maybe sold out.
I just watched it a couple of weeks ago.
There's rumor that all 9 films are coming out like that week or something. But
well, there's only 6 I'd want to watch. Maybe 7.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You mean A New Hope redo?
Yeah. A New Hope part 2.
Don't forget Sunday the 5th is Revenge of the 5th. That's one of my favorite days.
Revenge of the 5th. Beware.
Yeah, beware. Everyone you've wronged, you can.
Except now they're trying to get away from that. I think Disney wants to start a whole month of Star Wars, the Imperial March.
Which is clever.
Imperial March.
And
it is clever, but that's something.
What do you have for the Rebels?
That their marketing department came up with.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Raz is talking about on the 15th of May, he's going to see the 4 Transformers episodes in theaters. Now, isn't it also, is that the same thing as the 1986 movie animated
No, no,
film?
no, no, no.
That's different? That was coming to theaters.
It's the first miniseries of the television cartoon. It was a 5-part
Okay,
story called More Than Meets the Eye. I think it was called More Than Meets the Eye. I want to say that's what it was called.
I saw the trailer for the new Transformers, like Transformers 1, or what is it? It's like a prequel.
Yeah, Transformers 1.
I don't know how do y'all feel about that? I don't know how to feel about that. It's not Bayformers, though.
No, it's not Bayformers, so I'm maybe that's a good thing, but I don't know. I don't think it's for me.
Yeah.
It's just, for me, it's outside of what I want to see.
Raz, do you have any thoughts? Oh, here we go. Let's see what Raz says. He says it's the third 3-pilot episode plus 1 more and a special feature voice acting sessions with Cullen and
Welker, Frank Welker.
Okay.
Come on, even you should know who Frank Welker is.
I know who he is, but I'm just saying.
He's so prolific. He voices everybody.
You're assuming I could read here. Eating, burger, and some more. Okay. Hey, Raz, if you had time, I'd bring you on camera if you wanted me to. I'll bring you on stage if you want, if you want to talk. Otherwise, keep chatting with us. He says, here's his response. TF1 is not for me. My wife and kid are more excited than me. I don't need a new version of these characters. Yeah, and it's like before he was Optimus Prime, he was a janitor or something in the theater.
Yeah, I don't blame you. If I might have been too tired for that if my stuff wasn't already upstairs where I was working on stuff.
Hey, well, you know me. I'm about next Saturday. I'm always game for Saturday night about 9:30. So if I Caveman,
as long as your equipment's working.
Yeah, properly. I had a Louis going on here. But if I don't get Raz's email, make sure I do so I can invite him or whatever, or Raz, you know, you can hit me up at geekhomeworld@gmail.com. So Raz has more.
Well, I can send you his stuff on Instagram because you can send it through there too.
Oh, I can? Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I can do a thing. Oh, actually, I have to pay for it with StreamYard. But if I had the paid version of StreamYard, that watermark would go away. But also, you would be able to rebroadcast this to like your things, which would be awesome. I guess could do that, but I have to pay.
I thought they had it set up now where you could stream it to other platforms. You could stream it to YouTube. You could stream it to Instagram.
It's all behind the paywall.
And Facebook. And
behind the paywall because I'm on the free version.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I hate it, but I understand. You know, I totally understand. They got to make money.
You know, I don't know. Even if I was making money off of memberships and stuff, I don't know that I would.
You say memberships. What do you mean by memberships, Digital Cavemann?
Memberships. Oh, I'm offering memberships now. Go check them out. YouTube.com/@DigitalCavemann/join.
Okay.
You can check those out. I have three tiers right now.
What are your 3 tiers?
I can't remember what all I offer on them. You'd have to go and look at it.
But it's worth it, man.
But, you know, there's one that's just like a few bucks. And, you know, you get a little bit of stuff with that. And then there's one that's a few bucks more and you get more stuff. And then, you know, I'm planning one more tier, but I'm still working on it. So.
And talk about gaining followers. I actually gained, I'm up to 55 followers. I know I remember when I was in the 20s and then I was in the 30s and I'm in the 40s and now I'm almost halfway to the 60s. So eventually.
Yeah. And I mean, mine has slowed way down back to about what it.
That's because they realize you're getting to be a success and they're throttling you down like
that's YouTube is throttling me. They're not showing me as much
like Apple did to their phones, allegedly.
But you know, It's a thing. I tried.
Hey, Raz, look what Caveman got me for my birthday. My first podcast shirt. Geek Homeworld. That's pretty cool. Yeah,
we're going to try to go to Joe Fest in June.
We are. And I actually got off my butt after about a year living here, over a year. Actually, I found out.
Has it been that long?
February was a year we moved up here, which is crazy.
Wow.
And so it's what, April? Yeah, March, April. Yeah. Yep, that's like 12 months.
I didn't realize it had been that long. It doesn't seem like it's been that long.
Well, when you told me we've been friends for 25 years, I'm like, really? No. And then I realized 1999 was episode 1. And
episode 1, yeah.
25 years ago.
That's like, when we met.
Crap. And he says, Roz says, that's so cool. I have Transformers Con t-shirt on the way for when I go to Baltimore. You guys going? Yeah.
No, I'm not going to Baltimore.
Our way. He said all expenses paid by Raz.
I doubt it.
Airfare, first class airfare. Wow, it's amazing. Of course, we're going.
I'd go to Baltimore if TFCon was paying me to go.
Maybe you can get on the
other than that, I'm not. That's a little outside my
You know what we need to do? We need to start our own con
for travel.
Okay. He says, geez, I wish I had that budget. And as soon as I win the lottery, I will have that budget.
Yes.
I tried playing the lottery.
I'm going to win one of those $1 billion lotteries.
I will.
One of these decades.
First thing I'm going to buy is George Lucas.
Before, it's going to be the day before I die. That's when I'm going to win it.
I'll take my $1 billion winnings and I'll go to George Lucas and say, can I have a 5-minute meeting with you? And it'll cost $1 billion.
Oh, that ain't nothing to him, man. That's chump change.
I know.
He's like $1 billion. Is that all you got?
That's it. But
you know, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this is why he's backing Iger," you know, because he's coming back to Star. I don't think so.
You said
it's because we were talking about it the other day. It's like when Disney bought Lucasfilm from him, a lot of what they paid him in was stock options.
Exactly.
I mean, he got some cash out of it, but most of it was stock. Now, whether or not he still has that and hadn't sold it off, I imagine he does. Otherwise, he wouldn't be, you know, inserting himself into that situation of going, "Oh, Bob Iger is right." Did I freeze out or something?
No, I don't know. But some of this, so hopefully this will all live on YouTube properly because some of it's not. Oops. Oh, no. Stop. Wrong button. Some of it's not coming through my Audacity, which is my backup. So I don't know. We'll find out. I don't care. Let's keep talking. I'm having such.
Yes, it's not like this is, you know, meant for posterity or anything.
Yeah. Oops. Well, like I told Cavemann right before I was coming on at 9:30-ish or 9:45. I was about 15 minutes late for my own live stream. Audacity decided to update, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll do the update." And I was like, "Damn, I shouldn't have done the update because then now it went crazy and it's gone haywire."
We'll see you, Raz. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, Raz. We appreciate you. Yeah. Next Saturday, make sure I got your email or hit me up or somebody figure it out.
I'll make sure you got his Instagram.
Right. And you're invited next week, tentatively 9:30. I'll be talking about how great the 4K version of episode 1 was. And me and the wife are going to see it. So hopefully there's still some Star Wars fans out there to give a crap. But I'll be there. And anyway, so we'll plan on it next Saturday night. So cool. Well, thank you, Raz. He said he's got to run. We appreciate you being here. I really appreciate you showing up. I got to get to your channel. Oops. Let's see. Where's my shameless plug of him? Y'all can follow Raz at Kane on YouTube.com/@ Razzle Kane Reviews.
Raziel Kane Reviews.
Raziel Kane. I can never say it right. That's why I call him Raz. But thank you, Raz. Everybody can follow you there and check out your content there. You got a lot of good stuff going on there. And congratulations on your success that you're getting. And cool. So what else do we have to talk about? Did we What are our thoughts? Final thoughts on Bright Eyes, and looking forward to Tolerance's Extinction.
It was enjoyable, and I think it had a nice little, surprise ending there. I mean, if you were kind of familiar with that storyline, then there were hints.
The thing is, they built him up Sinister to be such a badass that he is, and then you get to this where they got Bastion talking to him, and he's like, "You and your other guys, whoever he was talking about."
I kind of agree with you. I think we're going to find out that Apocalypse is actually the big bad at the end of the season.
Would not surprise me. I don't even care if they break continuity with the animated series and that he's supposed to be gone or whatever. Because I'm like,
but
no.
It's like I said earlier. He's like the Joker, man. No matter how many times you think you see him die, he's never actually dead.
And somehow the Emperor returned. Same thing with Palpatine.
Yes, they were like, we don't know how to make a clone of you. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. And they did it.
They still could have done more with. I'm still pissed. They should have done more with Snoke. We should have got something, a better story about him.
Yeah. Oh, Snoke was just a puppet. Whatever.
So, yeah, piss me off.
Thanks a lot, Ryan.
The only Ryan I believe in is Ryan Reynolds at this point.
Yeah, apparently he's still giving
Marvel
Disney
Jesus.
shit.
Yeah, Marvel Jesus. So he's going to have that. If
I didn't watch the video, but I was flipping through YouTube stuff and something about Ryan Reynolds giving Disney the shit again over something with Deadpool. I don't know.
I'm sure it is.
I just hope the studio hadn't really just screwed that movie up, because I want his version of Deadpool to go out on a high note.
Right. Oh, definitely.
And it's going to be hard to follow up Deadpool and Deadpool 2. I mean, I don't feel like Deadpool 2 hit the same.
I think it was.
It didn't hit the same as
the first one. The first one, and watching the first one, I hadn't seen it in a while because I've been watching the second one because it's my favorite with cable and all that. Deadpool 1 feels a little bit too dependent on setting up the whole story. It spends almost too long in.
Are you saying it has episode 1 syndrome?
It does have episode 1 syndrome. It's still a great movie, don't get me wrong, but I really enjoyed it. Things just were flowing so good in episode or Deadpool 2 that I enjoyed it, and they did such a good job at all the characters. I really didn't like X-Force in there, even though they were funny. Their version of X-Force and Domino. I really didn't like Domino, but the more I watch it, the more I like those characters, and the whole thing has grown on me, and I definitely like the second one.
I've got to watch them again before.
The first one is, they're both kind of lethal, but the first one is almost, parts of it are so, like,
there's some of that is so, it's beyond raunchy.
Yeah, and some of it's really hard.
Like, what was it? He asked Vanessa to marry him, and she's like, "Where'd you get that ring?" Because he didn't have any pants on.
He's like, I've been storing.
And it's not that it's not. It's hilarious stuff, but some of it is. For me,
though, it was a little. I won't call it gory, but him becoming Deadpool. That feels like it's a big part of the film, and I understand that it's the origin story. It's got to be that way, but the second one just feels like it covers more territory, even though the second one kind of feels like they could have been shortened, and it feels like they kind of prolong some of the scenes, even though I enjoy the film. I guess
it just felt like there was too much of it.
Yeah, but then I always felt myself wanting to watch more. So if 2 comes on, I never turn it off. I'm like, I look for it. It's one of those ones that I have saved on my DVR, which I dropped a lot of my movie channels. I told you this week.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
As of a couple days ago, I probably don't have access to half the channels I had. But I mean, movie wise, which kind of sucks. And if I could find a way to drop the sports, I would drop the sports. But
I don't even remember when I had DirecTV last. It's been that long since I've had DirecTV.
Yep. Oh, I didn't finish my story earlier about. Well, I like DirecTV, by the way. We've got the fiber optic internet, and it's pretty fast. So as far as I can tell,
I think they're running that here. They've been running and testing.
I like it, dude.
Fiber optic lines.
It was already wired in my house, and I had the Xfinity people come out here, and the guy wanted to cut the cable for that, and I'm like, let's not do that, because he tried running the lines, and they couldn't somehow get it to work here. I don't know what was going on, and then AT&T was able to do it, and they came in like super cheap, like $80 for the internet. And I think I get, is it 1 gig up and down, which is pretty damn fast. And it's pretty steady. And I can get it all the way into my backyard. My backyard's, you'll see when you come, my backyard's kind of wide, and I can still be on the internet, like at the top of the hill in the backyard.
Oh, I get, I don't know what I'm getting download. It's fast, but I know I pay attention to the upload speed because I upload lots of videos. And I get up to, it says up to 20, and I've gotten 20 megs, over 20 megs uploading stuff. So megabits.
Yeah.
Second.
Mine's like freaking gig up and down, and it's like very consistent. Well, that's what I like about it. And the fiber optic cable, I saw it. It's like, I can't even, like, it's so incredibly tiny.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But, it's really good, and I like it. And it hasn't gone down. It's not like DirecTV where you had satellite, or I never had a satellite.
Right.
I always had Xfinity. I mean, I had it my whole life, but I came up here to just a better thing. But we were pulling in the other day, and you know how I am. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to meet the neighbors. And so we went over there, me and the wife went over there next door to meet the neighbors, and they were moving in yesterday and today. And I got to talk to one of them, and she mentioned that her husband, he's kind of geeky and all that. And I was like, oh, we're going to be friends. It's like, and I came home. My wife said I was excited. I came home, and I've been procrastinating and doing a little bit here and there on cleaning the studio up. And I was like, I knew you were coming up soon. And I was like, I need to start straightening this up, getting it more organized. So I'm basically getting it organized. And she's like, you're something else. He was like, yeah, I'm excited. I was going around. Oh, it's pod. Oh, that's interesting.
I was going to say, you ought to know this. It's your favorite scene out of the movie.
This is pod racing. Sweet. Is that Sebulba?
Yeah, Sebulba. Yeah.
Sebulba. Oh, I can't wait.
An especially dangerous dog named Sebulba.
Whatever people say about episode 1, those pod racing scenes are awesome. I know they're going to sound good in like 4K and IMAX or whatever it's going to be in.
And I got to thinking about it the other day when I was watching it. I'd say the other day, it was a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Obi-Wan was kind of a dick.
He was a dick.
Because you got to think.
If we picked up more alien trash or whatever,
that's what
Anakin was right there.
Why do I have the feeling you're
another worthless? You picked up
another pathetic life form.
Yeah.
So not only was he banging on Anakin, but he was digging in on Jar Jar.
Wait, that sounds like an X-rated movie.
Well, I'm sorry.
Digging in Jar Jar.
Right. Yeah, he was digging in Jar Jar. Episode 1, XXX.
Starring Deadpool. Deadpool presents episode 1.
Come here, Jar Jar. Misa, run away!
Misa scared. I've been chewing gum and kicking ass. And
come here, Jar Jar. Let me see that tongue.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, you never know when drunk pool's gonna pop up.
Stupid drunk pool. Drunk pool. Drunk pool.
Oh wait, that's copyright. You can't be getting no strikes.
Why?
But speaking of that, I picked this up on DVD the other day. The entire series.
You bought
Adam
it for
West Batman.
DVD? Oh man, I almost did. I saw it.
$35. Come on, man! It was the whole series, all 3 seasons, over 100 episodes, I think.
Yeah,
$33.
Some of those episodes are pretty bad, but I'm like, it's still it's still good.
It is what it is. As long as you take that 66 Batman show for what it was,
right,
and what it was meant to be, which was a campy, kind of kiddie with some adult touches in there, like Catwoman.
Yeah. Oh, I thought Batgirl was so hot. I loved with her bat cycle and all.
She was in Star Trek, the original Star Trek.
I vaguely remember.
She played the Orion chick when Kirk got stranded on the insane asylum planet, him and Spock, by Garth of Izar, whatever. He could change his shape. Yeah, Garth Brooks. He was singing them songs and mesmerized
Thunder
them.
Roll. Oh, he'll sue me.
No, you just said the title. It's fine.
Yeah, he'll take my billions.
But we know Kirk got some friends in low places. Usually they're all female.
Yeah, they're in all the right places.
He knows all the women's.
All the women folks.
Or at least he used to. Nowadays, probably not so much.
Sweet.
Captain Pike gets around a little bit, though.
Captain Pike gets led around a little too much, especially by his person who flies the ship.
My name is whatever the hell her name is. I fly the ship. Oh,
my hair's not short enough.
Ortegas. Man, if they got rid of her, I'd be so happy.
Yeah, ship her off to space.
Ship her off to the last season of Discovery.
There you go. I'd like to undiscover that country. But yeah, I just so irritated her character. Nobody would act that way on Kirk's maybe on Kirk's, but not on Picard's.
It's not Kirk's ship. It's not Picard's ship. It's Pike's ship.
And Pike just
he can run it the way he wants to and say the thing. Are you going to say the thing?
Go. Whatever. And
please make the ship go very fast now.
They've kind of destroyed Spock for me. I hate to say it.
I can kind of see where they're going with it, what they're trying to do with the character.
He's been delving into his humanness for too long. He's losing the essence of being Spock.
But here's the thing: you got to remember, Spock is still fairly young during this time. You got to remember, he serves with Pike for like 10 years or something.
Excuses, I say.
So this is pretty much, I would say, at least in their first 5-year mission is where I would place that, if that's even a thing anymore. I don't know. Is it a thing anymore? I don't know. So, I would put that in there. So it's very early on in Spock's career. This is the first time that he's been really off Vulcan and exposed to humans other than his mother or Michael Burnham, if you want to buy into all that.
I don't. So I want a rebate on that, or refund on that.
A rebate. I want a refund.
I've got through my second complete watching of Star Trek Voyager since I've been following it on the Hero.
There
TV.
were some pretty bad episodes in Voyager too.
There were some bad ones, but
there were some good. There were some good ones.
A lot of them hold up. Some of the first season ones don't like Next Generation. There's some first season ones that don't hold up because they haven't found their groove.
There was so much crap going on behind the scenes during season 1 and 2. I mean, it was basically a power struggle between Roddenberry and the studio.
Yeah. Yeah, it was about like when they got to like the 3rd season and you're going into the
when you get to the 3rd season and you see where Rick Berman kind of has more of a hand in what's going on than Roddenberry does.
It got better, and then it got tight.
It started getting better, and I want to say season 3 and season 4 of the Next Generation is probably the best 2 seasons of that show.
And then I do like the finale.
Not to say that there weren't good episodes.
Oh yeah.
After that, but those, I think most of the best episodes
came
of that series is in season 3 and season 4.
Now I wish I had a list of all the episodes in front of me so I could speak to that. But yeah,
good, bad, good, bad, 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 good.
Just to see like some of the favorite ones where he has a little flute. That was one of the best.
That was a season 5 episode.
Was it?
That was in season 5.
And then of course, best
because if you remember, he was wearing like the funky shirt and the jacket, the red and black jacket.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really, really good episode.
Oh yeah, it was so touching.
And one of my favorite episodes in Voyager. And it doesn't have to. You would think maybe it has to do with Klingons or Borg or whatever, but it doesn't. It's actually one of the Doctor's episodes, and it's the episode where he has the holographic family.
Oh yeah.
And then B'Elanna reprograms them to be more realistic.
Yeah, they start acting.
That's actually, I think, one of the best episodes of Voyager.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that episode. That was a good episode. And it was, that's one of the things about the Doctor, because then it's weird because he has these. I do like the one where he was with the other holograms. I mean, there were a lot of ones that I liked. But, they did let his character later on kind of develop a little bit, which is good. And
well, he got to develop a lot more once he got the mobile emitter.
Right.
Not always for the good.
Right.
Or the best,
Some of the ones where he does the opera stuff.
The episode where he becomes the famous opera singer on that planet, and then he wants to leave the ship, and it kind of backfires on him.
The one
another good Doctor episode was the one
with the planet
where the planet blames Voyager. It's like way off into the future, and the planet blames Voyager for all the woes that they had to deal with, and the guy in the museum finds
I like
the Doctor,
episode. Right.
And the Doctor starts setting them straight about stuff, and then he causes a bunch of upheaval.
The one where Harry Kim has to go back and Voyager's crashed on an ice planet, him and Chakotay.
Oh, where him and Chakotay are the only ones that make
it. Directed by Reed
Tom Paris. LeVar Burton. Oh, that's right, because he was in that episode. He was Captain LaForge. Captain of the Odyssey, if I remember correctly.
I think you're correct. Yeah, but there was
a look. One, it's in a book.
I know, that's true. And I probably have a book right on my shelf over here. But the one where they get stuck in the planet, and then every minute or hour is like 100 years or whatever, and then
where they're stuck in orbit or whatever. Yeah.
That's a good episode.
That was a good episode too.
There's a lot of good ones in it.
But I will say this, and I will stand behind it 1,000,000%. Next Generation is my favorite Star Trek show.
Mine too.
However, I think that Deep Space Nine was the best written Star Trek show.
It was probably barely Star Trek. You know what I mean? It was probably more of a drama or whatever, in comedy or whatever.
And when I say that, I'm looking more at like, season 4 and on. So like 4 through 7, basically the Dominion War. But that's also the time where Berman actually has a lot less to do with that because he's concentrating more on Voyager. and because the network's breathing down his neck because Voyager's supposed to be kicking off UPN and they're trying to make the network and all that, and so he's basically telling Ira Stephen Bear, just it's Deep Space Nine, do whatever the hell you want to with it. And so he did. And, we never would have had something like the Dominion War without Berman going to concentrate more on Voyager. And I think that's one of the best things that ever happened to Star Trek, even though it goes against every grain that Gene Roddenberry ever laid down about Star Trek. They find a peaceful solution. They don't ever go to war.
Yeah.
And, I think it was good for that version of humanity to get a taste of the horrors of war, because it had been centuries.
When they got into the Dominion War towards the end of the series on Deep Space Nine, I really was into it, like especially some of the final wars they had there, like space battles were incredible.
Oh yeah, the battles
for the time. But I bought into the whole thing about the prophets and all that, and
that is my only.
That's your probably your weak spot for it.
I don't feel like they ended that series correctly.
Possibly.
It felt like there needed to be more, even though it had like 4 endings in that last episode. It had like 4 endings, but it still felt like there needed to be more.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
And if Avery Brooks was different about things, maybe they would have brought his character back or had him.
They may yet. I mean, I don't know.
Not going to bring him. Not at this point. They're not going to bring him back. He's not going to come back.
He's so weird. They could replace him if they wanted to.
Yeah. Recast.
I mean, it wouldn't have the same impact, especially when you look at episodes like one of my favorite Deep Space Nine episodes
with Picard.
No. The episode where Sisko and Garrick plot and conspire to get the Romulans involved in the Dominion War on the Federation Klingon side. And, they went through this whole thing of making this fake holo recording of, the Dominion's going to attack Romulus, and the senator's like, it's a fake. And,
a what?
It's a fake. You don't remember that, where he holds up the little rod and he goes, it's a fake.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then, that leads to Garrick's whole plot to begin with, where he blew the guy's shuttle up when he left Deep Space Nine and blames it on the Dominion because of that rod that was in there, that guy could tell it was a fake. But by the time they find it in the explosion, it's so damaged, they won't be able to tell it's a fake. That Garrick, man. And
your character's a trip.
He's one of my favorite characters off there. And, and just the monologue by Sisko in that episode and the way that it ends, he's like, I can live with it. Can I? Computer, delete recording. I mean, that was I think one of the strongest performances in Star Trek.
I felt like, I agree with you. I think it was well done. It was very dramatic, and it felt like they were going for, they had the better performances. But as a Star Trek kind of thing, it wasn't that it was too dark for me. It just, I don't know. I wasn't feeling it as like some other people feel it. But for me, I'd have to say, obviously, Next Generation, by far my favorite.
Right.
And over time, Voyager has become my second favorite. And
I like Voyager okay.
Third would be,
if you say Enterprise, I'm gonna reach through this stream and slap you.
Well, help me out here, because I don't want to say the original. I'm not as big of a fan of I love Kirk as Kirk.
Okay,
but I'm not really a big fan of the original.
Here are your choices.
What are my choices left?
As of up to, let's say, 2002. Okay. Here's your choices. You got the original series, and then you can kind of put the movies in with that too, or you can put them as a
no. Let's
thing.
just talk about series, because now series Discovery, I wouldn't even care.
Goes,
I want it at the bottom, but I don't even want it on.
No,
the
that's
list.
outside the time frame we're talking about.
Okay.
So you got TOS, you got Next Generation, you got Deep Space Nine, you got Voyager, and you got Enterprise.
I would have to put Enterprise.
And I'm not going to say I hate Enterprise. I don't hate it. It's not my favorite. I'll sit there and watch
the episodes, I'm always wanting them to have more tech, at least by this season or the end of this season. You know what I mean? Like, I want their warp drive to be much faster. I want them to have photon torpedoes or whatever, because you get kind of spoiled on some of that high tech from Voyager, and some of the Borg stuff that they got.
Hey, carry on. I will be back shortly.
Okay. So, if I have to, let's see, if I have to rate the series, I would go with The Next Generation is my favorite, and then Voyager is second. I'd have to maybe say Enterprise, just for a lack thereof. I want to say that the newer one, not Discovery, but Strange New Worlds. For a while there, for the first couple seasons, it might have been my number 3 behind Next Generation and Voyager. It might have been number 4, actually. Next Generation, Voyager, Enterprise, and then it might have actually been number 3, but it's kind of probably fallen down. It's maybe 4 at this point. But I guess at the end of it, I would probably put the original series, because I'm just not a fan, and it's probably the age when I came to age and come of age and watched, got into Star Trek. And I know that some of the episodes are good in the original series. It's probably sacrilege not to say that's the best one, but I don't know. I don't find myself watching it as much as I watch, of course, Next Generation I never miss, and Voyager I never miss. And then it's kind of like, okay, maybe it's Strange New Worlds or it's Enterprise. And then I would probably put the series at the bottom. Now, Discovery, if we have to include that, that's not even on my list, but it would be at whatever the bottom of that list is, would be Discovery. I absolutely hate Discovery. I just don't like it. I don't like the tone. I guess I forgot to say Picard, because other than that, that's kind of a Disney Plus show. And I get, the same, if we're going to count them all, then you have to bring Picard into it. So first season of Picard was okay. I didn't really like the tone. I didn't like the way it was going. Second season of Picard, total trash. Hated it. It dragged on too long. It's just monotony. But third season was almost perfect. It could have been a Next Generation movie to wrap up everything. And even if it spins off another series, the one with 7 of 9, I hope so. But or Picard's son and Beverly's son there, if it spins him off into another series, that's great. But season 3, that's some of the best thing they ever had for Star Trek, including the movies of Picard, just getting the Next Generation cast back and just kind of wrapping things up the way they did. It was a really good send-off, and night and day compared to episodes 1, especially, season 1 and season 2. Season 2 was just total trash of Picard. But Picard would be up there by Strange New Worlds. It might be, season 3. Okay. But I would take season 1 and season 2 over Discovery any day. So
I have returned.
Here's my updated list. So far, I was talking it through. Next Generation, Voyager. Gosh, I just said it.
Deep Space Nine?
No,
Enterprise?
No. Enterprise. I almost wanted to put early on the first season or so of Strange New Worlds. It would have been number 3. It was really up there, and then I'm kind of falling out of love with it. So I would maybe put Enterprise ahead of it. It's just at this point of the list is kind of weak. Now Picard season 3 would have been way up here. It would have rivaled some of the films.
It should have been should have been the Next Generation redo, right, and not Picard at all, because most of the problems with Picard stem from Patrick Stewart wanted it to focus on Picard and not.
Well, he wanted it to be different. He didn't want to come back to it unless there was something new with the character.
It just wasn't.
Yeah, he didn't want to bring back the Picard that we knew.
Executed very well.
Yeah, he wanted to bring back a darker, disillusioned Picard, and it just didn't sit well with us fans. The first season was okay, but I didn't like it.
It was okay.
The second season was complete trash. It was drawn out about him and his mom. Nobody cares. They could have cut about 3 or 4 episodes.
You want me to tell you the most interesting part? The most interesting part of that.
The least interesting part is what they did with Guinan and all that, and what they did with, and you know.
I like the character of Guinan, but I can't stand Whoopi Goldberg.
I know you can't, but yeah, it was nice to have her back, but they didn't. I didn't like the young Whoopi version that they had there. She didn't fit the part. I didn't feel her as Guinan.
I'll tell you the best part of the Picard season 2 was the fact that his father was Dr. Baltar from the remake of Battlestar Galactica. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was nice. It was nice to see John Delancey again playing Q.
But they didn't really end that in the way it needed to.
It was a waste.
It was a total waste. They wasted him being back. They wasted Guinan being back. I mean, I just almost wish they would.
And then at the end, he's like, "Oh, I'm dying. I'm dead. Q. Goodbye." And then at the end of season 3, shows up to Picard's son. "Hey, Sonny, what's going on?"
Yeah,
I thought you were dead. I'm Q.
The new spinoff that they were talking about doing with 7 and 9 and
Legacy.
And is it Jake? Jake Picard? Is that what his name?
Jake Crusher.
Or whatever.
Jack Crusher. His name was Jack because he's named after.
Well, he had a job at State Farm. He was Jake from State Farm.
Oh, he was Jake from State Farm. Is that what it was?
His other job that he had.
He's a little too light for that.
I guess, but what? Anyway, I can't follow behind you. I swear to God. I don't even know what to say. You're terrible.
Excuse me.
Yes, I mean, Picard would have been up there season 3, but 1 and 2 wouldn't even have registered on my top 10 list. And Picard season 3 it would have rivaled some of the films. It would have been better than Insurrection.
There's not a lot that isn't better than Insurrection, except for Discovery. It's not better than anything.
Yeah. Discovery.
It's a close call as to which one I would rather not watch.
There's Discovery or Dysentery.
No.
I would take Dysentery.
I was going to say Discovery or The Last Jedi. You know, it's a toss-up right there as to which one I would rather not watch.
I would take
the only thing
over it.
The only reason I would pick Last Jedi over it is it has nothing to do with liking it or, you know, not disliking as much. There's not as much of Last Jedi to watch as there is of Discovery to watch. And that's the only reason I would pick The Last Jedi.
I can't. I tried to get past the look of the Klingons. They screwed the Klingons up in Discovery season 1. And then they just started,
and there was no recovery from that.
There was
when you screw up the Klingons, you don't recover from that.
Right? They're a noble race. You know, that
people who are fans of that. I don't necessarily call them Star Trek fans, but people who are fans of that. Oh, they'll say, "Oh, well, they changed them for the movies." But how they changed them in the movies was what they were supposed to look like originally. They just couldn't afford to do it.
Right. Well, the thing is, they could have put something in there, explained the way they look by some disease they had or something.
Oh, wait, they did that in Enterprise.
Yeah, the phage. Like
no, it had something. It had something to do with the Voyager. The phage. That was off in the Delta.
But I say something like that,
Well, they did. It was they tried to.
It still didn't
mix Klingons' DNA with human con DNA. What do they call them? Augments. So human augment DNA with Klingon DNA and made a Klingon DNA plague.
The most interesting person on Picard season 1 and 2 was the samurai guy with the long hair. That was like my favorite character, and then he just wasn't there. I thought he was kind of interesting as a character, and he had certainly more personality than the other people. And
he was okay, but I mean, you can say they're okay by almost any of the characters in Picard season 1 or 2.
Yeah,
and I don't think any of those characters actually fit Star Trek except for the established characters.
Well, because he's like a samurai. You don't really have a samurai. Somehow he worked for me. Somehow he worked as a character in there. I don't know why.
The only established characters that you really have in Picard season 1 and 2 is, of course, Jean-Luc and 7 and 9. And to a lesser extent, you had Commander Riker and Counselor Troy in there, and even to a lesser extent, Brent Spiner playing Data. Of course, he's also playing another Soong. Boy, I tell you what, them Soongs get around. They got ancestors they didn't even know
those
about.
Soongs, huh?
And and even what they did with the established characters, what they did with 7 and 9, I guess it kind of fit. She goes off and does her own thing because she wasn't comfortable being on Earth. She was sick of Janeway trying to make her more human or whatever. She just wanted to get away. It was just Jerry Ryan wanted to get away from Catherine Mulgrew.
Maybe, but I kind of feel like it didn't do her character justice, kind of how she.
I never said it did her character justice.
Yeah,
but I mean, what do you do with 7 and 9 when Voyager gets home?
Yeah.
I mean, really.
She could have been a scientist.
In some of the novels, she went off with the Doctor and worked for a Starfleet think tank. But in that one, Janeway gets turned into the new Borg Queen, and they blow up Pluto. And
poor Pluto can't catch a break.
I know, you're a planet. You're not a planet. Now the Borg destroyed you.
Yeah, it's Neil deGrasse Tyson. He was like, during the thing we saw him in Columbia County, he was in Evans. He was like, "Get over it." It's like, it's not a planet. Get over it. It's exoplanet. But so I don't know.
Poor Pluto. Yeah, you just got to feel sorry for Pluto.
Yeah, Pluto.
You're right. Can't catch a break.
Can't catch a break. Getting no love.
It's just an asteroid.
Here's the rings of Uranus.
Ah! No, those are too bright. The rings around your anus are too faint. What is that? Is that like some kind of crazy ring light?
It is. I don't know why I have it. It clips on, like a clip on the computer and it'll go over the eyeball of your camera. So then
I get it.
Whichever way it goes, I guess your eyeball.
I don't care for ring lights.
It doesn't do enough. It doesn't do enough light. I mean, I got enough good light here, I guess. I
like all my other lights. I did start working on my active green screen, or not the big one, working on a small version of it just to make sure it's going to work before I put any real money into it. And
if I could
but anyway, I messed it up. It's not square. The glass I got it won't even fit in it because it's messed up. So I got to redo
really
it.
Show you here, but my Stream Deck, I started playing around with it, and I was talking about getting the 4K camera. I may hold it off because this camera's working, and I was able to get the other camera, but I can't use them through StreamYard for live streaming unless I can figure a way to import a virtual camera into StreamYard, which I still have to figure that out if that's something I can do on the free plan. Because other than that, I could get if I had somebody else in the studio here, then it could be 3 of us here. You know what I'm saying? Me and this other person. But the other way, I've got to totally go through OBS, and StreamYard that way.
You and said then BS.
OBS.
Oh, BS.
I'm trying to think the OZT, what it stands for. It's a comic line in the X-Men 97. It's in the comics, in the X-Men comics. It's a story, Operation Zero Tolerance. That's it. Which is Bastion.
Yep.
At least I said it during the stream.
That is 100% correct.
Operation Zero Tolerance. And so apparently
that was the name of that storyline.
Yeah. And when they said it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. Because that was Bastion. And he was using, I remember because I have the comics. I think I still have those. Because Bastion came along and he was threatening the government or whatever with Onslaught coming back. And that's when he captured Xavier. And I don't know, Xavier couldn't use his powers or something, or he depowered him or did
I don't
something.
remember. Like I said, I've read through it one time.
Yeah, it's been a long while.
And it was on my pretty much complete read through of X-Men.
Yeah. So you got through everything?
No, I gave up when I hit some like the early 2000s. I couldn't push through it, man.
Well, with the
there
success,
was so much bad stuff.
I know. With the success of X-Men 97, they've relaunching the X-Men titles. There's 4, I think, new titles.
Well, they're fixing to start a new storyline. They're just finishing up.
Yeah.
I want to say Jonathan Hickman is the writer, and he's just finishing up his run. And
did he do Krakoa?
Yeah, he's the Krakoa guy.
I didn't terribly like that, but some people loved it, and there are parts of it I guess I haven't
read any of it.
I've watched videos because I don't really collect comics, but I'm close to getting back into it. X-Men's kind of pulling me back in. I would love to follow a good X-Men storyline.
Just when I get out, they pull me back in.
Yeah. But
and I know you know what movie that is.
Don't put me on the spot. I don't remember.
Oh, come on, man. It's The Godfather Part 3.
Oh, okay. That's like X-Men 3.
No, well, yeah, kinda.
And actually, Godfather 2 was kind of like Empire Strikes Back. It was the best of that series.
I do. I will agree with that, and I stand behind what you say on that.
I've heard people say that, and I've watched
the best one, and that's
I've
not
watched at least the first 2. I don't know that I've watched the third one.
You should at least watch it. It's not great.
Yeah.
And
but my God, the actors
I don't want to give it away.
The actors that were in all 3 of them. I mean, you look at our best actors were basically in.
Well, Pacino was really the only one in the third one.
Yeah.
I want to say it's been a while since I watched it.
What's the guy that's
he was the only one out of the first 2 that was in it. But Jimmy Schmitz was in it, a very young Jimmy Schmitz.
What's the older guy that he was in Phenomenon? He was the doctor. That's what I remember him from, but I know he's in a lot of other stuff. I can't think of his name. You know what I'm talking about. He's in a lot of
the concierge.
I'm trying to remember.
The lawyer.
Robert Duvall.
Robert Duvall, yes.
He's
and the first
one, actor.
James Caan was his brother.
Right.
His older brother. Al Pacino's older brother. And then Robert Duvall was like their brother because
was he in the Untouchables?
Robert Duvall?
Yeah.
No.
No, I can't. It's been so long since
That
I've
was
seen
Sean
this.
Connery. You're thinking Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Was in The
But-
Untouchables.
But like
Elliot
Robert,
Ness.
I can't.
Elliot Ness was played by
Yeah.
Kevin Costner.
Oh gosh, it's Kevin Costner playing Kevin Costner.
Yeah, pretty much everything Kevin Costner does.
But
Kevin Costner playing Kevin
I can't
Costner.
think of hardly anything that Robert Duvall's been in that I haven't liked. You know, he's one of those actors that he's just, I don't know, there's something about him. He's just a good actor, you know.
He's kind of like Michael Caine, although I can't say Michael Caine hasn't been in stuff I hadn't liked.
True.
He's been in some stinky
Was
stuff.
he
at least
Batman
stuff
and
that
Robin?
wasn't. Do what?
No. Oh no.
No, he was Alfred in the Nolan trilogy.
Take that back. I knew that. Oh God.
Oh,
apologies, please.
because the guy who played Alfred in the like the Keaton and Kilmer and Clooney.
Oh, that's right. He was in all
films.
of those.
He's dead now.
Yeah, he was in all of those.
So is the guy that played Commissioner Gordon. He's dead now too.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson's still alive, but his career is pretty dead.
Well, it's not dead. He gave up acting about like 5 or 10 years.
Oh, did he retire?
He retired. Yeah, he retired. And I saw something about him recently. He's getting up there. He's
up
with him, but you know, that's fine. He's got nothing to fucking prove. He's Jack.
Oh no.
He's one. I think he's the only. He either got nominated 4 times or won 4 times Best Actor or something or supporting actor. He's like 4 Oscars.
Some of the stuff that he's been in is
incredible. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Easy Riser,
Cuckoo's Nest, The Shining.
He was
pretty much anything where he gets to play a crazy MFer.
Well, as good as it gets, he was good.
Oh God, he was fantastic in that.
Yeah, it might have been his other Oscar nomination.
What was it? Chinatown and the Two Jakes.
There was About Schmidt, which I don't really remember that one too well. I just remember the title. He was in another one, As Good as It Gets. The one with Diane Keaton, Something's Got to Give. Keanu Reeves. Remember that? You probably didn't watch it. It's kind of.
I don't recall that, and I try to watch all of his stuff. But
Keanu's like this young doctor, and he's kind of hitting on Diane Keaton, and Jack Nicholson's this kind of washed up writer, and if I remember correctly, and he's like at a beach house or something, and he's trying to get with her, and they're kind of competing for her, and his doctor happens to be Keanu Reeves. And so they're kind of trying to. So it's a very interesting film. It's called Something's Got to Give, and it's kind of like
I know I've heard of that, and I may have seen it. It doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't ring a bell.
It's not so much a guy's film as much, but it's and then of course
chick flick.
Witches of Eastwick. That was made for Jack Nicholson.
You're right. They probably did write that.
Just like Al Pacino is probably the best iteration of the devil in with Keanu.
Oh, with Keanu Reeves,
Devil, not the Devil Wears
Devil's
Prada.
Advocate.
Devil's Advocate. Which guilty pleasure here. Anytime the Devil Wears Prada comes on, I don't know why I like that movie so much. That is such a good film.
You just like looking at what's her name? Catwoman.
Yeah. She's kind of irritating.
You like looking at her. You like looking at her and thinking,
I like the boss lady
because that Catwoman suit.
That boss lady acts the way most people wish they could act as a boss. Probably not the way you should. She's just so like boom, boom. She'll just knock people down and just people. It's just crazy. But I don't know. It's a weird film. Boy, we got
homework. We're gonna watch The Big Lebowski.
Oh yeah, that's true. And then I got to have him on. So, yeah, don't let me forget. I want to get him on. I'd love to get Raz on here. And it'll turn into you guys talking about I'll be able to leave the room while y'all talk about Transformers. It'll give me a chance to have a break. But, well, thank you for showing up and all this and that. And thank you for everybody who showed up during live stream. And I'm sorry about.
Wish I could do it more often than I do.
But. And, I wonder, I got to figure out how, hopefully all this, I'm too tired to do all this, but I got to get all this uploaded, and hopefully I've got a file to upload. I may have to get the audio off of YouTube. So hopefully this goes to YouTube with all the sound intact. If not, this may be the lost episodes. It may exist in different formats. I don't know. Because I guess it would have been fine if I would have had my thing.
Man,
here.
you gotta start making sure this stuff works like 30 minutes before time.
I had no, it was working. Last time I used it, it worked, and I was firing it up, and then I did that freaking update on Audacity, and I've never had any problems until Audacity. And but I'm gonna double check everything before next week and all that. And I'm coming to the end of the quarter. I've got some of my finals due. It's technically it's Sunday. They're due today. Oh God.
Oopsie.
I still got a lot of work. I've been working on them throughout the weeks, and I still got a lot of work. So much going on. I'm trying not to get stressed out about it, but and then I guess I get a week.
Don't fall prey to anxiety.
Yeah. See, anxiety. He makes you procrastinate. Or I don't know.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I think that you should have named that guy Procrastination.
Yeah. Well, that might be who he really is. Procrastination might be anxiety. He might be acting like he's anxiety.
He's anxiety in disguise.
He's sinister, but he's really the really villain behind him.
Oh Lord, I'm going to tell you right now. I've been watching these this channel, Mary Marvelite.
Mary Marvelite. You have to send me the link.
And well, you just look it up.
Oh yeah, like I'm going to do that.
He does a lot of like background stuff, like origins of this Marvel character, origins of that Marvel character.
Oh, cool.
And he's got some in there you might find interesting.
I want that X-Men version of Cable. I like that version of Cable.
That one that you sent me today.
Yeah, what is it? Marvel? What is it called? Marvel something.
Marvel Legends.
No. I meant the site. It keeps popping up on my.
Oh,
Facebook.
Hasbro Pulse.
Hasbro Pulse. Yeah, they got some good characters, and you said you were going to get something like, yay.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get that. I'm probably going to get that whole wave because I want to build. It's okay. You remember Kazar from the Savage Land?
Yeah.
Okay, you know the big saber-tooth cat that he hangs out with, Zabu. Okay, that is the Build-A-Figure for that wave.
Interesting.
So, and that's how they get me, because there's some characters in that wave that I could care less about,
but now that X-Men 97's becoming a thing, I guess it's kind of sparked your interest.
Yeah, man, like Cyclops is going up. His price is starting to rise up. You can find it. You can find the Marvel Legends one on Amazon right now, but he's going for $35 and up.
Wow. Yeah, I need to bring him in here, and
I think they'll probably do a reissue of him because they did that with Wolverine. The Wolverine sold out. He was the big draw for the first wave, and so they reissued him. Now Storm and Rogue are actually starting to sell out in places now.
Well, they're finally showing them the love that those characters deserve, and that's X-Men 97 did that beautifully. Even though I'm sorry, but it seems like as important as Storm's story was, it felt very, compared to what happened in episode 5 and episode 7.
I felt like they kind of rushed through.
They rushed through
Storm's thing, but if you go back and look at the animated series, a lot of what Storm went through during that time when she was powerless, they've already gone down parts of that storyline with that. Like
I would have rather them not done the Jubilee episode and gave us a total of 3 parts
for life death.
Yeah.
I think that would have been better, but I think what they were trying to do with the Motendo part of that episode was they're trying to develop
some of those characters.
The Sunspot character. so that by the end of season 1, he's fully accepting, I'm a mutant, I'm gonna go and kick these people's butt with my superpower.
Which you finally did that. And I'm actually liking him and Jubilee as a thing. It seems to work. It's
yeah, even
Jubilee's
though
not as irritating as she used to be. Sometimes she could be irritating in the
I don't know. The thing I find most irritating with X-Men the animated series is Jean Grey.
Somebody said she always has to faint.
She's always getting knocked out or passing out because she used the power too much.
Did you notice she didn't do that? I feel like they've
listened. Madeline Pryor did not do any of that.
Yeah, but Jean didn't do it. Jean isn't doing it either now. Like in this episode, she used a lot of her power. She was going head to head, even flying around and fighting with Bastion.
Yeah.
Not Bastion or whatever. Trask and she didn't go, oh, I use my, Scott's like, I'll get the building, you get the whatever. That's so cool.
I'll get the debris. You get the building, I'll get the debris.
She freaking took the building on, and she was still carrying it around when she was flying and fighting him. It's like, damn, girl, go.
But yes, I'm glad to see that they're developing her as a character more, other than just being a damsel in distress.
She's not like Kim Basinger and Batman. Screaming all the time.
Exactly. I never felt like animated series really did her justice.
Right.
And and she's such a great character. I mean, now I think in the animated series that is the only media outside of comic books that got the Phoenix story appropriate.
Yeah.
Now there was a lot of stuff they cut out of it, but I mean they had to. They were trying to cover it in like 5 episodes.
They showed her They showed her costume when she was on the moon.
They have been. They did show that, and they have been showing the Dark Phoenix in the intro.
Plus, we keep seeing Apocalypse and Cable. That shot. So that makes me think Apocalypse is
that and Cable will be coming back too, because he's going to do something time travel wise, and it's going to all the feels that we get over Gambit dying is just going to be gone because Gambit will be back.
I didn't watch the video, but I saw the title, and it has a picture of Bishop and Cable, and it says they caused the creation of Bastion. And I was like, I got to find that video and watch it. I forgot who it was by. It might have been New Rockstars. They do a great breakdown of everything.
They do, but God, you have to wade through. They're like Screen Rant. You have to wade through so much advertisement.
Yeah, it's like when you get going.
Don't get me wrong. Look, I know them guys got to make their dough somehow, but it feels like there's way too much ad to content ratio.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely skip through that. I'm like, boom, boom, skip through the ads. Anytime I can skip through an ad, I'm skipping through it. I don't care. I'm sorry. Only once or twice have I ever clicked on an ad in any video, if ever, But
if I did, it was on accident.
But when I get monetized, don't get me wrong, I need you to click all my ads, everybody.
Well, you don't have to click the ads. Just watch 30 seconds of them.
30 seconds and click them.
That way you can claim your 2 cents.
I'm going to be Mike Zero, man. I'm going to have ads everywhere. They're going to be flashing in and out. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know that dude personally, but I cannot watch his stuff. I can't.
I know.
I can't say I don't like him. I just don't like his content.
Yeah.
It's just buzzword after buzzword after buzzword. I mean, right on top of each other, and that's all it is. And I feel like
honestly, I haven't noticed
15 minutes
much.
He's just repeated what the title of the video is.
Well, I hate videos that bait you. That get you.
He don't bait me.
Something.
He used to. He got me. He got me in the beginning until I figured out what he was doing, and then I'm like, no, I can't watch this stuff no more. And don't get me wrong, I don't go in and like thumbs down him or anything like that.
I never do.
It's
rare that I've ever watched a video.
I just don't watch it.
Sometimes I watch videos that I don't agree with because I want to hear the other side of what people are thinking, and I watch them, but I don't thumbs down them. I don't, because I'm like, I know how.
Well, just because you disagree with the opinion in the video doesn't mean the content was bad. And a lot of people aren't, they're not judging the content itself,
Right.
as it is. They're judging the opinion expressed, or whether or not they like the person who's doing the content, and it's just, keep in mind that, when you thumbs down somebody, that really hurts.
Yeah, I don't.
And I'm not talking about personally. It hurts it hurts them in the algorithm.
Right. Like I said, it's
I mean, I don't take it
ever thumbs down anybody.
When people thumbs down me, and I get thumbs down, believe it or not.
Yeah.
There's some people that just don't like my content, and I don't understand why. And the reason I don't understand why is generally when people give you a thumbs down, they don't go in and leave a comment saying, leaving constructive criticism as to why they didn't like it.
You told me about an exchange you had with somebody. I'm like, well, just don't.
Oh yeah, that's been years and years and years ago.
Yeah, if you don't,
I'll say years and years and years, but it's been like three.
But while you're at it, you might want to subscribe to Geek Homeworld at youtube.com/.
Hey, I am subscribed to that channel.
4248.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Let's see, and you might as well go to DigitalCavemann.
Oh yes, and while you're at it, check out those great membership offers. You could be watching next week videos right now.
youtube.com/@DigitalCavemann. And when I get 100 minus 55, whatever that is, however many more subs, then you can go to Geek Homeworld and you can subscribe. I won't have the 4248 on the end of mine. I'll have the youtube.com/@Geek Homeworld.
Oh, that means that birthday I'll have to get you another shirt made.
Yep. By then, maybe
either that or you just have to figure out how to scrape the number off of the one you got.
When my Jedi powers increase and I can continue learning graphic design and all that, you're going to be getting tons of Geek Homeworld stuff in the mail. More paraphernalia. You have to wear it all your videos in front of your 10,000 subscribers by the time I get to 100.
I got to do what you did. I got to wash my shirt and hang it up.
Yeah, I
here in the main cave so that I can remember to put it on. When I think on the first
stream, I didn't even have it on until I realized when you came, I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm glad I changed it out, because that's the idea. If I put it up there, then I'll wash it and then I'll hang it right there. And it was in my way of me filming. I put it there so I would see it. And I was like, oh, I forgot it.
Hey, I moved it out of the way.
Yeah. So cool. Well, I guess I better wrap it up, and I'm not doing the editing. But anyway, hopefully this stream ends up. Hopefully there's enough out there that I'll have a podcast episode to upload. I'll figure out something. I may have to get the audio off of the YouTube channel.
Oh wait, we're only just over 2 hours, man. You sure that's enough content?
I know that.
I think 2 hours is enough.
I noticed it because I usually it automatically uploads the audio one with the static image. So I always get 2 per week, when I do this, but I skipped a week here and then I missed a week like 2 weeks before. So, but was it March? I did every Saturday I was on it, and there were 5 weekends. So I did 5 boom, boom, boom episodes in 1 month. That's the most. It's been a long time since I've consistently podcast like that. And so I really don't have the time to do this tonight, but I really needed a break from all my work.
Yeah, that's schoolwork.
Yeah.
Well, you do have to take breaks.
Yeah.
Although I'm not going to say that in front of Cheryl, because.
Yeah, me either. But anyway, so thank you for joining me, Digital Caveman, as always.
No problem.
And
again, like I said, I wish I could do it more often, but
Yep.
Life.
It'll work out somehow. We'll figure it out.
I gotta start getting back on and doing some.
Yeah. Let me know when yours are. We can find a way to.
Maybe at some point we can alternate weeks.
That's a good idea. And if people cross-pollinate between our shows, or whatever. That would be
maybe we'll have some carryover here and there.
That would be fun.
I got to decide what kind of format I want to do for live stuff.
Yeah. You don't need to make it too difficult because you already got enough.
No. I got
to make it as simple. I love StreamYard, but if I'm going to have people in studio here, depending on how things go as well, then I'm going to probably have to switch to OBS or figure out, once I can get it set up, I'll be good, and then maybe I can do it using my Stream Deck, and then I'll be able to,
Oh man, and I feel like I'm finally starting to pull ahead a little bit because I got
on your production schedule.
Yeah, I got 5 Marvel videos almost in the bag. I just got like the short segments. I got to start exporting the short segments and then putting everything together. So I got 5 that are ready to go. I got 2 for Tuesday. I got 2 for Wednesday.
I really want to
finish filming 2 for Thursday, and then I got 3 for Friday. But the Thursdays and Fridays, I still have to go in and do the chroma key for. But I feel like I'm starting to pull ahead now a little bit.
I feel like I'm getting closer to cracking the code, but I hadn't figured it out on how to, like, all the videos that I watch on YouTube and all these other channels, like they'll have X-Men, or they'll be talking about, and they'll be able to put the actual clips up there and then talk over them, voice over them. I hadn't figured out how to get those clips and where to get them. I feel like I knew that, but I think
you screenshot them. Pretty much is what what you have to do. You have to screenshot it.
Where am I screenshotting them from?
You have to use like OBS and run it through your computer, and then use that to do screen grabs. I say screen grab like it's a still image, but you do the video version of that.
How am I running it through? I mean, are they?
I don't know.
Are they playing Disney
I could be
Plus?
doing it.
Are they doing Disney Plus?
Yes, it's running through. You like run your Disney Plus through your computer, or maybe you're just watching Disney Plus on your computer.
But I don't want copyright strikes or anything,
See, that's what I worry about when you use stuff like that. Now, I mean, there's, some of that I think is covered under fair use.
Yeah.
But it's a fine line.
Yeah, and I don't want to do any copyright infringement stuff. I really don't.
I think one of the things is like,
it's not my intention.
Like reaction videos, okay? As long, if you're showing that content, as long as that content is like small over in the corner or whatever, and then having your reaction or whatever is big,
right?
So like I said, I don't know exactly how that works. That's outside of my wheelhouse. That's not a shtick I'm willing to get into.
Right. That's something I've wanted to learn all these years. Not necessarily a reaction, but I want to be able to, like, if I'm really excited about something like X-Men, I would love to like pop in clips and like us talking, and then throw a clip in there,
right,
and we discuss it, or because they're sometimes seeing it,
because like some of that is covered under, like, there's so many seconds of it you can use without it being copyrighted. But it's like 3, 4, 5 seconds, something like that. It's a really small window from what I understand. Again, that's outside of my wheelhouse. So I try to stay away from copyrighted material.
Same here. Because I respect, what people create. As being a creator myself, I wouldn't want somebody to take my content and say it was their own or whatever. But for the point of just commenting on something, that most times if I'm commenting on something, I like something about it. I rarely get on here and talk about anything. The same with you. You never really get on here and talk about stuff we hate. Yes, there are things we don't like. We never get on here just for the hate.
The Last Jedi, but we don't get on here and just the whole show is we hate The Last Jedi.
Right.
Even though I do. I don't know how you feel about it.
I dislike it.
I know you like the subverted
the more
director.
What? No,
whatever
not
his name is.
he's a good
Brian
director. It's just-
Dinglass.
yeah, he's a good director, but he just screwed up Star Wars and Luke Skywalker. I'll never forgive him for that. But
He's like,
the thing is,
to me, he's like Joel Schumacher
he's the Jar Jar Schumacher.
did to me.
Yeah, but
Well, I think Joel Schumacher is actually dead. But
oh dear.
I think I ain't gonna swear to that, but
Independence Day Resurrection would have took him out. Believe me, what a disappointment that was.
Did he direct that?
I think he did. He did. Oh, he did Moonfall. That was absolutely horrible.
The only one of his movies that I will say I
That's
actually
not that long
kind
ago.
of like that I can think of that I'm sure there's some that he may have directed. I just don't know that he directed. But I really enjoyed Falling Down with Michael Douglas.
Oh yeah, that's great. I didn't
I
realize
thought that
he
was
did that.
really well done movie. But people don't really think about that. They think when Joel Schumacher, oh God, Batman and Robin,
right?
Batman Forever. Although I won't say Batman Forever was completely horrible. It wasn't great, but it was not the disaster that Batman and Robin was.
Right. Exactly. Now, I know this is a little off the subject, but we hadn't mentioned it. But and I got about halfway through, and then I thought Cheryl wanted to watch it, and she watched the first episode, and she said she was done. But I'm talking about Fallout. I'm enjoying the hell out of Fallout.
I haven't watched it yet. I know I need to watch it.
I got about 3 or 4 episodes in, and I think there's like 8 episodes maybe total. So I'm almost halfway on it. So I need to get.
But yeah, I got
after
to
this
catch
week,
up.
I'll be able to get into.
I got to watch
more.
that. I got to catch up on Invincible.
Yeah, I'm caught up on Invincible, and it's just incredible. Well, that's you. You're being summoned. It sounds like, and I need to go as well.
All right, man.
I'll talk to you later.
It was fun.
Let me try to see if I can run the outro on here if that'll work. Just so I have something. All right. Well, thanks. Bye. Thanks for listening to another exciting episode of the Geek Homeworld podcast with your host, Ed, aka the Savage Tech Man. Remember to follow us on X, Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for being a part of the Geek Homeworld.